Set 6 will be played on Newkirk. Always good to hear the fans cheer. Spawning in the bottom left-hand position, the red Protoss playing for STX Seoul with 1 win. His name is Classic.
His opponent spawns as a blue Terran on the bottom right position of Newkirk. His name is Ty, playing for Kespa teammate.
Ty, of course, known for his impressive multi-pronged harassment and attacks, and incredible micro and macro behind them.
And Ty found a way to play PvT. In fact, if you think about TVP from Kespa teammate, it hasn't been great. If look at Cure, his TVT is fantastic. He could play TVT to a certain level, but his TVP was never great.
No, it was never great.
They were trying to play a regular game, and it just didn't work out with the addition. With the Heart of the Swarm, they started playing a lot more aggressively compared to Wings of Liberty, and it started working out for Ty and Cure in this particular matchup. Especially Ty.
Yes. And whoa, look at that win rate there, man.
Yeah, in round 5 he is 14-5. On this particular map he is only 1-4, but his last game on this particular map was a win.
Yep, it was. He's got some wins and losses here. Lost against Flash in a pretty epic series on this map. That is Argo from Kespa teammate. Yep, so we have a, looks like a reactor expand on the way here for Ty. Let's get in that gas there.
And Classic's probe.
What are
you doing?
What's your angle here, Classic?
Well, first of all, the pylon's going to go down. And I feel like it might be a proxy Stargate or some proxy tech, one of those two.
Well,
Stargate or Twilight. It's got to be one of those two.
It has to be, man.
Yeah, well, the gateway finished up, and the pylon does go down, but I don't see a Cybernetics core. Is he going to proxy everything here? No, Cybernetics core goes inside the main base.
And he's just putting that pylon there to be completely ready for as soon as the core finishes here. He's going to have 150 gas by the time this core finishes. He's actually going to have 200, I think, around that much. Maybe even more.
Well, do remember that he's going to use some of it on the warp gate.
Yeah, warp gate or
and
maybe
possibly a stalker or a mothership core.
Yeah,
so
mothership
you
core.
have to calculate every single one of those. But behind this, Ty, instead of expanding, he's going for factory.
So we're going to see aggressive builds from both players here. The more aggressive player should win. The player that's going for more of an all-in. We have a high temp, or excuse me, Twilight Council on the way. It's either going to be Blink Stalkers or DTs. Most likely DTs, but the Blink Stalkers can happen.
Well, remember this. There's only one command center for a time, but also this SCV is going to go inside the main base. There's no units out by Classic, which means that Ty can actually count how many pylons there are inside the main base. He sees one. He's going to do a merry-go-round inside his opponent's base.
Oh.
He sees the second pylon just finishing up, but he doesn't see a third pylon.
So this has got to kind of confuse Ty a little bit, but okay, looks like he's sending an SCV out now. He's probably going to be looking for proxies.
Yes. He has to be, and there's a blink out on the way, but also remember, this means no detection. Ty, he wants to go for a really aggressive play with the Marines and Widow Mines, which means that if the Widow Mine drops inside Classic's main base, Classic's going to force to go for counter all-in with the blink.
Yeah. Now, luckily with Blink Stalkers, if you see the missile move or shoot off on a Stalker from the Widow Mine, you can actually blink like in a split second, and you can avoid the damage.
And look at this. Ty is just scouting around everywhere near his natural base to make sure that there isn't any proxy pylon or proxy Stargate. In fact, all that Ty could see at this point is the Mothership Core.
Ooh, looks like the Mothership Core has spotted the SCV. That's going to get picked off here.
Now, do also note that there is a medevac out on the way. The Marines are going to spot the pylon outside of the map, so now he knows exactly what's up.
Immediately, the Marines run back home, and a bunker starts being built here. We have a Widow Mine for defense as well, and Ty, he's someone that I could see going ahead and dropping at the same time. Look, and it's spotted as well by the Mothership Core.
Well, he needs some units back at the main base because once it plants, there is no way that Classic can actually scout it.
So is Classic going to warp in units at home or just really commit to this attack?
Well, I'm not too sure. He's warping in some units over here. He got some stalkers over here.
Does he have any stalkers in the main base? The blink is done. Oh, he's going to blink into the main base using the Mothership Core.
Which is really nice. The Widow Mine is down, and the probes run away from the main mineral line, which means that he can't warp in that many stalkers. But here's the stalkers warping into the main base.
Here's the problem. There's simply not a lot of units here for Ty. I think he's going to end up losing this game here. The Marines have no upgrades. The SCVs, they can be out microed using blink here as long as the Mothership Core doesn't go down. These units can keep blinking in here. And let's see if we can do the micro for the Widow Mine.
Well, he only drew out fire to one of the stalker, and he did micro at the last second. All he has to do is fight outside of the Widow Mine.
There's a siege tank up. Classic trying to go for the kill here. The bunker, that's not going to be able to help out much there. Won't even get the feat completed. Forward blink killing off the tank. The stalkers going to finish off these SCVs, and a lift on the command center. The
Ty is still trying to make something happen with a single Widow Mine inside the main base, and it's going to get shot on a few of the probes, but the damage has been done inside Ty's main base.
So Ty, you know, he is in a terrible position now. He's lifting up all his buildings, but can the command center get picked off by these stalkers before it can land over on the other side? GG is called. STX Seoul wins 4-2.
You know, I have to say, Classic was depending on the fact that if the attack didn't work, then he was depending on innovation to take out Ty easily in set number 7. Because of the trust, he was able to go for the blink all-in. And in fact, it just worked out for him because his blink micro was actually pretty good.
Yeah. And you know what? We haven't seen blink all-ins in a long time in Pro League, so this is it was a good strategy to use to catch his opponent off guard. Ty was going for a really greedy build, and you know, the Widow Mines, one of them can do a little bit of damage, but Classic's control in his main base was excellent. Only lost, I think, a total of 3 probes, and he was microing back and forth the entire time.
And Ty was only expecting a bust. The bunker positioning was over there to make sure that any attack through the ramp is not going to work out. However, it was blink stalkers, which means that he could fight out of the range from the bunker all day long with the blink stalkers.
And because Ty rushed for the Widow Mine so fast, the Marine count was lower than it normally would have been, and there is no reactor to help the Marines get built faster and faster. So everything worked out pretty much perfectly for Classic.
Yeah, and everyone's been making fun of Classic back in round 1, 2, and 3 when he was playing Terran and not playing so well. I don't see anyone making fun of him now. He is 7-2 in Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid score there. He's proven himself in all of the matchups as well.
And this actually helps out for STX. So they were looking for some, you know,